Yeah, okay. New player circle. So,
Hey man, say man, you already know what I'm gonna say, man. It's your local neighborhood player, Damone Jr. kicking in the Player Circle podcast. We don't try to fit a square into a circle. And hey man, today, man, they say that boy Young Jeezy. They say that boy Young Jeezy was telling. You know, there's been speculations of him telling before Blue Da Vinci been on his bumper about his snitching allegations. This shit coming back to bite all these niggas, ain't it? You feel me? That's what they call it, Atlanta, Ratlanta. Well, the former detective federal agent has came out and made some allegations of his own, basically like, yo, we had the mother dead to rights. You feel me? All we had to go do was cuff him. And for whatever reason, they chose not to prosecute. And, you know, that's just on up to the people to decide why that happened. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. Without any further ado, man, you already know what to do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get to the video. Gucci Man, Young Jeezy. This is Gucci Man, Bird G. This nigga Jeezy. I knew you was different at the motherfucking verses, nigga. I knew something was up with you at the verses. When you let that nigga come on stage and say, fuck your partner, Puka Loke. I knew something was different. I thought that nigga Gucci was a clone up until that day. I said, okay, this the real Guwop. This the throw a bitch out the passenger seat Guwop. Okay, this him, right? And you know, Blue Da Vinci been said this nigga ratted, but now you got the actual FBI coming out and saying, yo, we had that nigga dead to rights. We don't know why they didn't indict that nigga. I don't know why they didn't indict that nigga. That nigga guilty, Your Honor. Told us everything he wanted to know. We had him dead to rights. I don't know why we ain't put no cuffs on him. That's insane. Not gonna lie. But it explains everything to me. Now I know what he meant by he was different at that verses, because you was different. You knew you did what you did, you dirty some of my. But we just gonna get it right on into this shit. I knew it. I could tell it was the beady eyes, G. I don't trust motherfuckers with beady eyes, bro. It was the fucking beady eyes, nigga.
That a collab would come soon. In 2005, Gucci Mane and Jeezy would record 2 songs together. The first song was Black Tees, which was a response to Dem Franchise Boys' hit song White Tee, and the second song was So Icy.
Oh my mama, you niggas don't know nothing about Black Tee. White tee, bro. Niggas don't know nothing about that shit. I rob in my black tee, hit licks in my black tee. All in your house searching for bricks in my black tee. I still in my... But that nigga, he said he make my skin crawl, bro. My mama, like, he the type of nigga you step on the back of that nigga's shoes while he walking. Nigga flat tire, nigga flat tire, nigga flat tire, nigga. Fat dorky ass nigga and be talking all this shit, bro.
Icy. So Icy would go crazy in the streets almost immediately, and would then be featured as the main single on Trap House 1. The song was such a massive hit that even high schools across the country
don't know nothing about the snowman shirts, bro.
Video. But as time went on, rumors surfaced that Jeezy may have been upset with how things went. Although it's still not 100% clear why Jeezy was upset, we can assume
that's cause that nigga Gucci took that motherfucker. Nigga, this on me. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? Nigga, you want this on your album, nigga? Nigga, this big Guwop. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? Nigga, this me. Nigga, we doing this on my shit. Fuck is you talk about? And Jeezy was a peon. He always been a peon, because it should have been up then. You sent some other niggas that do the shit. Got your partner here. Go dig your partner up. Nigga, bet he can't say shit. And if you looking for the kid, I be in zone 6. Nigga.
It has something to do with the fact that he wanted the song to be on his upcoming album. He quickly took to the studio to release a diss track titled Stay Strapped, where at the end of the song he would put a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's So Icy chain.
Real talk, I got a bounty on that shit. 10 stacks, man. You know Jeezy.
Jeezy would start to distance himself from Gucci and cause some strain on their friendship. Gucci would also get upset at the fact they could never...
This was a different Gucci, man, y'all. This Roderick Davis nigga. This nigga was a real Atlanta super villain. Not a superhero, nigga. A real super villain after that shit happened. Like, That nigga was different. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, blood. That nigga was Jason Voorhees.
Which he felt they were missing out on a huge part of promotion. Because once again, this is in the days where live shows made a huge impact on getting your music heard.
And that's
but
a
Jeezy didn't
historic
stop, and he
banger for
beef.
sure.
Over the coming weeks, the petty beef would turn into something much more. One summer evening, Gucci would go home with the stripper after a party, just a month after the So Icy hit dropped. 5 men stormed the home where Gucci was staying, armed with pistols, brass knuckles, and duct tape.
Boy, you get a mixtape, boy. Nigga get a bootleg at the barbershop. You can get the bootlegs at the barbershop. Leave that motherfucker with a couple of bootlegs, nigga. You feel me? Some movies. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my mama. Friday lit. You know what I'm saying? Got the DVD man up there, you know? It was definitely lit.
They would get into a physical altercation, pistol whipping the stripper and hitting Gucci in the face. One of the men allegedly yelled, "Shoot him." Upon realizing his life was at risk,
this when he was
back.
retarded.
Some people say he reached for his gun, where other stories say he may have disarmed one of the men and took his. He shot the gun, killing one of the men as the others ran off. 3 days would go by until someone found the body of the deceased man in the woods behind an elementary school. When the smoke cleared, authorities identified the man as Pookie Lock, one of Jeezy's prodigies under the CTE label. After 9 days, Gucci Mane would turn himself in, claiming self-defense. He released a statement saying, he's not a murderer, but he was scared for his life, and he had to be a man about it.
In the grocery store, the line like, "Ooh, old white lady, do you know that Gunna told you was a bitch?" Like all that shit, bitch ass shit. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm cut from the cloth that you got your information on whoever is the rat. And you got it in black and white, and you understand what went on with such case or whatever. You feel me? So, you know, when it come down to me, it's just different.
Was Jeezy in the paperwork?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this is public information. You can look up right now on your phone. Man testifies about Jeezy's cocaine selling. Type in your phone something like that. You're going to see one of the who name it Lights. Ralph Sims, the same that told about the limo that tried to say I told. Ralph Sims, Ralphie. Told on Jeezy, told everything Jeezy ever did. Jeezy had like 12, Jeezy had more statements.
Pookie Lock. This one we got to report our coach.
But no, he ain't get indicted because he did some more other shit. I feel like that. I know some things he did, like he turned Meech cars into the feds. That same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about a while before he came to Miami and doing some lie detector tests about this gun case he caught one year in 06 when I went to go meet him. We had a shootout, not against him, but some other, like when me and him start trying to talk, some other popped it off with us and we end up having a shootout and he ended up going to jail for a gun. If anybody is familiar with that Miami case, him and Twin came back to do a polygraph test that's supposed to be for that shit. And the security said that the Meech cars pulled up on flatbeds, nigga, into the federal building when he went and did it, when he was inside for his meeting or whatever. So I know he turned in the cars. Ain't no telling what people be doing, bro. That's all I know he did. And then he told about the gun case that was already thrown out at the state level, and then the feds picked it back up. So everybody look up Big House. You look up Big House. He was a security for Jay-Z. He was a security for Big Meech. He was also security for Young Jeezy. Yeah, Jeezy put the people on his ass, and he'll let you know. You look him up, he talking his story, and you know, you got all these people with these accounts of these people that's out here. Sorry, y'all, I just be the bearer of bad news because
that's because people don't give a fuck. Average motherfuckers don't give a damn. Like, don't care who fucking snitched and who told on who. And it's really starting to dwindle out. Like now that everybody's seen, like, wait a minute. This nigga Thug was calling Gunna a rat the whole time, and the whole time he a rat, so like everybody rats. That shit is dead. Like generations from now, like it's probably like 2 more generations. They ain't even gonna be talking about snitching. Niggas gonna be telling willingly, not gonna lie. Niggas gonna be signing up to do that shit. Like Randall on Recess.
10 years go by and people act like they ain't never heard nothing, don't know nothing. Like, hold on, the selective politics shit gotta stop. My BDS at the time, and I got a call from my team. It was like, bro, they talking about, it was like a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday, if I am mistaken. I was on the road on my tour bus, and I got a call from my team, and they said that on Thursday, in 2 days, they gonna pull the record from radio if they don't get Jeezy and CTE signature. They wasn't signed off for the record. So I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, hold on, bro. Let me call this and blah, blah, blah. So I called it. And this wasn't the first time I caught him about that. It was already mentioned before they dropped the shit. So they dropped it, and we still didn't have the signatures. And I think it was dropped on good faith that we was gonna get the signatures from Alan Grunblatt at Koch. They got the shit. They worked it out with Clear Channel or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? So the record could stay up there, and they was telling them they gonna have the paperwork or however it went. But them motherfuckers, I called Jeezy. He swear up and down to God in heaven. He signed off and all this shit. But I had my signature, then my signature for BMF Entertainment as the owner. Then we had Alan Nim's signature from Koch. Then we had John Jackson, which is Fabulous name as an individual, Fabulous the artist. Then we had Skane and Clue for Desert Storm was signed off. I had those signatures. I saw them with my eyes. Then I think I had, at this time, was Jay Brown's signature from Def Jam. He was the vice president of Def Jam at that time. I believe his signature was on my record for Def Jam. I tore a route and drove the bus all the way to Miami to go have a conversation with Jeezy about the record being signed off. And that's when that shootout happened that I was just talking about previously. I went to talk to him about that record. That's what the conversation was about. I was coming to meet him and confront him about the shit with all of this shit with me. And as soon as we start talking, two little was walking down the street with dreads and they're like, oh shit, there go Jeezy, dog. And they're like, oh, and Blue. That's Jeezy and Blue, nigga. That's BMF.
All right,
there,
see,
nigga.
look, this kind of why I can't believe you, though, nigga. Ain't nobody said, nigga, that's Blue Da Vinci, bro. I don't give a fuck. See, I was believing the story. I was believing the story until you said, niggas was like, oh, that's Young Jeezy and Blue Da Vinci. You fucked up the story, bro. I was believing you, nigga. You had me. Like, I thought y'all got in the shootout. You was there to talk to him about that. You had me. Until you said that shit. I don't know if I can believe anything else you got to say. Not gonna lie, Blue Da Vinci. Like a motherfucker saw you and was like, oh, that's Blue Da Vinci.
Oh, bro, let us get a picture. And then my little cousin twin, big twin, he like, oh, nigga, they ain't taking no picture. You see they trying to talk. So the little like, well, and then the twin fired him. Boom. And that's what started that shit that ended up to the shootout. And me and him never talked about the record right there because that fight turned into a shootout.
Is that Blue Da Vinci?
Turned into Jeezy got locked
like
up.
Coming to See You,
and
Otis.
Later on, Jeezy went back to have a polygraph test about that situation. That was all about that day I went to meet him to talk about why he didn't sign off on my record with me, him, and Jeezy, and they pulled it from the radio. And I believe he couldn't because the feds had jacked him and told him, nigga, if you help these niggas, and the same reason why he couldn't do the deal with us. Same reason why he couldn't put his name on the contract, because the contract ensues help to BMF, and they struck his ass down and told him they were going to put your ass in prison if you continue to help Big Meech and Blue in that BMF shit. You're going to fully pull away from that shit. Like, ain't nobody else stopped quitting the mob. He the only in history that just stopped.
Ain't nobody else quitting the mob.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's pretty famous, and to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos, and that's where it got interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting. One of the attackers gets hit, makes it about 200 yards away from the house before he drops dead. Rapper number two is arrested for murder, but is dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the violent act that got his man killed. I had the phone records of two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid Rico murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one went on to have a phenomenally successful career. Oh well, win some, lose some.
Obviously, he's implying that Jeezy told, because the feds just abruptly abandoning their plans to charge someone with a clear-cut RICO don't just happen without some form of cooperation. However, in the comments section, he only liked and responded back to two comments. The first comment he liked and responded back to was Jeezy and Gucci. And he says, I mean, you said it, I didn't. Playing it coy. The other comment that he responded back to and liked, also playing it coy, was, well, the BMF theory. Somebody commented, so Jeezy cooperated with the feds on Meech, so when this happened, he got a pass. That was what was being implied in the video. And by imply, I mean the FBI agent knows exactly what happened. He knows exactly
Interesting
what the
theory.
theory is.
Interesting theory. Interesting theory. Interesting theory. Do I think Jeezy ratted? Probably so. Back then, especially now, niggas didn't know how to get no paperwork on a nigga, so yeah, that nigga told and left niggas the fuck alone and got the fuck up out of there. That's what that nigga do. That's what niggas do. Niggas talk all this tough and gangster shit until they get caught and have to be in some gangster shit. So yeah, man, better off just being a regular guy. That way, you never gotta be a gangster. Feel me? Never had to go do no gangster shit like die or do 25 with a life. Cause that's where all the gangsters go. They die and they do 25 with a L, man. You understand me? Jail or hell. And I ain't trying to see neither. Out, man. You already know what they do, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll be back with another one when we got another one. And I'm out.
Yeah, okay. New player circle. So, get low. Yeah.